Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. And they call it Happy Fridays, Wolfie, and certainly the market's having a good move today.
Celebrate tonight.
we hope. But anyway, it's just general share advice, not personal advice, even though I do apologize for the singing there. Wolf, let's go through some of the stocks that put announcements today so we can just sort of brush that aside. But maybe before we do that, let's have a look at the Nasdaq. So bounce back up 7%, really good bounce. The Dow's up, and now look at the Dow. You see, for me, if you look at the Nasdaq's sort of not quite trending yet. It's still, got a way to go. But if you look at the Dow, the market's, it's only 300 off all-time highs and looking absolutely and you can see before when it couldn't break through. Now it's broken through. I'll tell you what, I'm not saying that we're going to have a great Christmas, but I'll tell you what, I feel that we could have hopefully a few nice weeks of trading here, Wolfie.
Look, just looking at this, right? You'd think to yourself, the war's over, inflation is under control, interest rates are coming down.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like it, is it? I mean, it's just crazy how this market sort of behaves.
No, I think, listen, I think there's a bit of short covering on this as well, like you said, right? So everyone was very bearish. We're going down. Suddenly, well, maybe we're not. So it was just a bit of short covering. But you know what? But let's take it. And these trades are doing well. And as you can see, our little gold trade, NCM, which I don't normally buy these sort of rubbishy stocks on the water, but it is coming back to that trend line very nicely.
What's your mouth out? NCM is not rubbishy.
No, but technically on the charts it was. A good company, but technically on the charts are good. And DEG, I mean, hit our target price. If you're in that and you're still in it, you just put your stop loss now at 119 and let it go, baby.
Yeah, look, the thing is, I remember reading something about a month or two back, just before I went overseas, that this is one of the biggest candidates for a takeover, right? In the gold space. If anyone's looking for the next big producer with lots of exciting things to come. So I'm not surprised this is going okay-ish and definitely looking quite good. So you never know, there could be something there. But if you're just buying it for DEG itself without the M&A type stuff, you're still looking pretty good.
Okay, so Wolf, let's go through some of these shares today. Now, RHC, Ramsey, bouncing back a little bit. So what was the fundamental announcement like?
There's two things for this. So first of all, much better results today, right? At the top line. However, the bottom line actually went backwards, but there are signs that there's an improve. So in other words, the COVID situation that they had, which obviously impeded the business, is easing, which means the normal business is coming back online. However, these COVID things, God knows what's going to happen. Hey, if we see in Australia here already in Queensland talking about masks again, I mean, crazy.
What?
But look, there's a little bit of hope for RHC, but it's not for me. It's not for me right now. There's better things out there for sure. So a little bit of positivity in the announcement today, but pass.
Right. AX1. The shoes. Everybody needs shoes.
And I tell you what, their update was actually pretty good. It was they said they're tracking above their own expectations, which is a big bonus, and also tells you that retail sales are still going okay. And also, Dave, I remember you saying that this is like one of those needs, not wants, right? Everyone has to have shoes to wear.
Yeah,
so it could be very defensive. So not bad at all.
Well, it is more defensive, isn't it, than clothes? I mean, I'm not saying you can walk around just with shoes on and no clothes, but if you've got a hole in your shoes, you can't wear the shoes. But if you've got a hole in your shirt like this, you can still wear it. You can still wear it.
There's a case possibility here on this update that might be a trade through $2.
I've just got this horrible thought that's come into my head of people in Equity Story office walking around with no clothes on but just shoes. Can I?
Yes. Well, I think that's pretty much true here at my household.
Not now. Not since you bought all those nice expensive shirts from
Yes, well, look, I'm wearing another one today.
from the nearly new shop in Poland. Right. So, but it's looking good. Okay. So good announcement, good price action.
I think I'll leave it to you with the technicals. I don't mind the actual fundamentals coming through now. But maybe there's a case to wait till next week. But I'll leave that to you.
Well, there's a little bit of resistance there, Wolfie, but it's not cheap.
No. And the thing is, look, there's an improve there on all lines, top, bottom line. So like I said, I think there's obviously a danger. Like I said, there could be a quick trade here, but there's always a danger that, with further time, we might see a bit of easing of that good times because of the economic conditions here in Australia. But it's fairly resilient by the looks of things.
Yeah, listen, I think I could understand someone buying that and trading it. Now, SDV used to be a long-term favorite.
Yep.
Obviously, we had to get out when it broke trend. But has the story changed? Has it gone from a great story to a bad story? I don't think so.
No. The two biggest things, right, that happened is the change of CEO. So the CEO went. We've got a new CEO. The CEO that's going to be actually in charge now is the one that they've actually bought a company of about 6 months ago, right? So he's now become the CEO, which is good, I think, because he knows what he's doing from the companies that we run before. And of course, it's been unprofitable. That's why a lot of the companies have been performing badly in this market. But look, there's a case for this that's still on my watch list. I haven't dropped it off my watch list because their fundamentals haven't really changed. Is the fact the markets has been very, very harsh on these companies. So let's see what happens over the next, say, 6 to 12 months. I'm not buying it for the moment. There's much better stories to play with, but definitely still on my watch list and see what will transpire with the new CEO.
And are they profitable yet, Wolf?
No.
Okay. Now, Newcrest had a bit of an announcement. Good.
Very interesting. I tell you what, I like looking at the bigger boys just to see how they stack up against the smaller boys. So if you can please do me a favor and bring up the actual announcement today, because we're going to look at that feasibility study that they put out, right? Because we always, like to say, okay, well, are the assumptions too strong or are they, they're good? So let's have a look what the assumptions are for Newcrest in the gold prices and everything else, which is quite interesting because today they've got this feasibility to come through, right? So if you go down, they're talking about NPV of 1.something billion, 18% IRR, which is internal rate of return, which sounds all good. So what they use, what assumptions they use. So keep going down and they give you all that details right here. Get a little bit further down. There we go. Economic assumptions. Gold price, US dollars, 1,500 at the moment, 1,750. I'm okay with that. It would be nicer for $1,400, probably to be on the conservative side, but 1,500 is not bad. A lot of the companies out there are probably using much higher prices, like 1,600 plus, right? So from that point of view, it's okay. Copper price, on the other hand, 350. What's the price at the moment? Just give me 1 sec. I'll have a quick look. So the copper price is 370. So still okay-ish, right? Still below the current spot prices. And US exchange rate, 75 cents. So they're taking the long-term view. Of course, at the moment, 66 cents. I'm okay. So, in a way, it just shows the bigger boys are a little bit more conservative than the small boys that want to really market their own company, just attracting more shareholders. So from that point of view, that's why NCM probably makes the grade as probably our top 3 picks in the gold space.
Right. And looking
good.
And it's coming back. It's not looking good, but it's coming back, and I think we're going to make money on it. That's for sure. Hopefully. Well, we are making money on it now. AVH.
I just wanted to mention, because I remember, we talked about maybe 2 years ago that this is going to be one of those bottom draw stocks. Put it down. Unfortunately, obviously, it's gone against us because it's unprofitable. Markets changed completely. Just hates anything unprofitable. Capital raisings galore. Down she goes. Had a probably difficult time during the COVID too. It's just a lot of things go against it. However, Dave, if you look at yesterday's announcement, the actual revenues are starting to really crank up, right? So we're looking at it now, 30 million type scenario, and that looks to be further grow in the next year or two. So it's again, I still got long-term hope that this is going to. Of course, probably a lot of us would probably be out by now, but it's still on my watch list, and I'm still very keen to see how these guys go, because there are possibilities, like we talked about a couple of years ago, are still there. Nothing's changed for them, as in incredible. It could have, $1 billion revenue type stuff for me. So I can still see the big picture as very positive. So I'm still watching it, but maybe it's just still too early. We got to wait till things turn around a bit more.
Yeah, isn't this the one, Wolf, that they can actually, I think, sort of burn your old skin off on your face in the future, and we could all look like 21 again? Is that the idea?
That's pretty much. They can actually possibly rejuvenate your skin. Yes.
Okay.
It could be huge, right? I mean, how vain their world is. You never know. It could be massive. I mean, but they're working on, other illnesses like vitiligo and some other things, right? The burns, of course, is the primary thing, but there's other things that they're working. They had a study yesterday that was quite positive. So the things are looking up. It's still unprofitable. It's still loss making, but with time, if they can get to 30 million, if they can get to 50 million, they get 100 million in revenues. I think people are going to look at it a bit more seriously.
All right. Now, SES, which was, again, a long-term favorite because you like the renewable space, it's up 15% today.
Look, the announcement was pretty good. They've got a Coles now on board. We had previously had Woolies with his My Eco bag. Now it's Coles looking at 770 retail stores. So they've got now 2 big retailers in Australia. That's a big positive for them. So, again, I think it's been really oversold and really shunned by the market for the moment. It's good to see a little bit of life in this. Probably too early for me. There's one of those stories that probably I want to just wait maybe for another 6 months.
And like you said, there's better stories out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wolf, you know what? I'm so relieved to see some of these big tech stocks in America bouncing back. Because I told my brother to buy some bloody Microsoft.
I'm thinking lucky stars.
And I said, take that long-term view. It's not trending, but because I'm trying to think, my brother, last person I want to give advice to, because anything I get wrong, it's like your brother, they just kill you, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. There'll be no more brothers.
Yeah. So I went for the biggest, safest company in the world, and it was actually down. And he's going, but anyway, it's bouncing back, looking quite good. And now, and I'll tell you the one that does look really good is Berkshire.
Yeah.
So that's above trend, little breakout now. Berkshire
got a little trade to 320. That's a pretty good one, huh?
Yeah, definitely. You could certainly have a look at Berkshire for a little trade up there, definitely. Now, Wolf, was there any other stock that that sort of caught your eye today? That
I quickly want to go through FN Arena, right? There's 3 stocks on there that we normally look at. That's recently obviously had an announcement, so I just wanted to see, what the big brokers are saying out there. So let's have a look at them. And the first one was, let me see, NEC, outperformed Credit Suisse. They're still positive on this. Price target. And remember, price targets normally we take a really bit of grain of salt because, you can manipulate the numbers. And I'll give you an example in a moment. But you're looking at outperform at 320, right? So that's a pretty big price target. But it just means they are bullish, right? That's a nice thing. So, from what they've seen, 320, slightly reduction from 330 to 320. So they're still bullish there. When we moving on to Suncorp. And Suncorp, of course, we talked about, this is one of our dividend stocks. So we need to see what the brokers are saying there. So they've risen their EPS forecast. This is from Citigroup with a buy, 13.50 price target. That looks nice. So they're quite bullish on that. And they're actually very happy with how things are going for them. Next one is SWM. Again, Credit Suisse looked at both NEC and SWM in that space. So they're still maintaining that really big price target of 90 cents, Dave. They haven't changed their view. They're still very happy and see a big positive there. So, they're very bullish on this space. It's good for the people that hold this stock. So maybe there'll be support. Now, last one I'll go to is XRO. Because obviously, we talked about it yesterday, that possibly $60 would be a nice quick nibble. Of course, today it just reversed course back to 70. And $45 was back up the truck and sell Natalie. But this is a manipulation of big brokers, right? So basically Morgan Stanley, I'll tell you what's happening here. So they're talking that, look, it's lowered the target, and I'll tell you how they lowered the price target, but all they did was adjust the earnings for EBITDA by 5%. So their price target drops from 130 to 95. So it just shows the manipulation, right, by the big brokers on their spreadsheets can drop a price target by 30%, yet EPS, the earnings drop by 5%. How's that compute? Makes no sense.
But what excuse do they give for that?
Oh, because they missed the bottom line, right? By a little bit. So the consensus they missed by a little bit because they overspent. But again, they could overspend this quarter and they can make it up next quarter. But this is the reactionary type behavior by the big boys usually, and the manipulation goes on in the background. You can drop from 130 to $95 on a 5% adjustment. I mean, come on. What is going on? Anyway, I just wanted to mention that this is why you don't take too much really focus on the price targets, more about the general talk and feel about bullish or whether they're bearish. So anyway, that's Morgan Stanley 95. I've got Morgan's at 77 on XRO, so they're still okay-ish on that company.
Well, if I just having a look at some ideas, I think that CXO looks very good, doesn't it?
Yep.
For a buy as well. So it's in the right space, isn't it? Lithium, it's trending. The market's looking bullish. It's got a breakout. If it looked like that by the end of trade today, I think you're on the way to $2, aren't you?
Oh, I tell you what, today's ATA will be bloody interesting, isn't it? There's going to be some very nice charts to talk about.
Yeah, listen, if you really want to make money on the market and take your life seriously, you've got to join us at 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
and we've got Wayne and some of the big boys will be throwing some great ideas your way and our way. So I look forward to that. Yeah, Wolf, I haven't really had time. Look at IGL again. Obviously.
Maybe you can go through a lot of big lists today. I've seen some really good charts, so I can say that with confidence we're going to have a lot of good looking charts on the ATA for sure.
Yeah, and again, hopefully, and look at Aristocrat.
Ooh, and they are reporting in a week time.
Yeah, I like it, Wolf. I think Aristocrat. I think that CXO is looking very, very good, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think the recent stories we put on, they are just so attractive now when you look at them, right? The little nibbles that we made on some of these bigger stories. We talked about the top 10s, right? We've had over the last 3 weeks, we've done 3 top 10s, and all of them are going fairly well. So I'm very, very happy how these things are going.
There you go.
Now, oof,
look at me.
Very good. That looks like a buy signal. That's probably the best chart I've seen today.
Right. No, it does look very good, doesn't it? It looks excellent. All right. On that note, Wolfie, thank you very much. We got live, and after that, Wolfie, guess what?
What?
I'm on Ausbiz. They want me to show them some charts, right, to look at. So, hopefully, live will give me some ideas to talk about.
No, I'm sure you'll steal plenty of ideas.
I will. I'm going to steal a lot, mate. What do you think I'm? I'm the great pretender, Wolf.
I know.
All right. On that note, life is good. There's no more war. There's no more inflation.
We're going up, baby.
At least for another 2 weeks. All right. Thanks, Wolfie. See you, mate.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.